everyone, welcome back to DIY Beauty on Purpose. My name is Leonette. If you are visiting for the first time, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. I hope you enjoy the video and I hope you consider joining our YouTube family. And if you are returning, thank you so much for coming back. I want to remind you about my Etsy shop. I am adding new items every single week, and recently I've added merchandise, which are my two hats that say DIY Beauty. They are selling really quickly, so if you are interested in checking them out, I do have the link down below in the description box, so go check it out. Today I have for you 9 very cool, very inexpensive handmade gifts that are perfect for Christmas. Let's not wait any longer. Let's get started. For this DIY, we are going to start with these pages that I actually tore off of a notebook that I already had here at home. You know, one of those little journal notebooks that you can find like at Dollar Tree or Walmart. Once I had a little stack, I am going to place them on this leftover faux leather. And then we are going to make sure that it's just going to fit right as a book cover. Then we're going to take all the pages and we're going to start putting some of this Mod Podge right on the rim. And as you can see, I'm just holding it down with some clips to make sure that it dries nice and tight. So we're going to go back to the faux leather and we are going to now just kind of start eyeing out how long I want to cut this faux leather. Now, the faux leather was already this width because I had already used it for another project. But if it was thicker, I would have just cut it to fit the journal. So once I had the length where I wanted, I cut the piece off, and then I'm going to take some of this leftover fabric and we are going to cut a piece just a bit larger than what the faux leather size is. And then we are going to start gluing them together. This is so that we can start kind of like facing each other. So one is going to be like the inside of the cover, and then the faux leather is going to be the outside of the cover. I'm using some Elmer's spray glue, and I am going to just start placing it right on top of each other. I did add spray glue right on top of both of them. That way it's going to have a nice bond. And then once I had it, now I'm going to trim it to where everything is nicely trimmed and even on each side. I'm using my rotary cutter because it's so much easier, and of course it just makes it go faster. Now I'm going to kind of eye it out and fold it just to kind of see how the journal is going to look, making sure that I have what I need. I did ended up cutting a little bit more off of the top of one side, but it wasn't too much. Now I'm just going to flip it over and I'm going to hand draw here, just eyeing it out, 2 lines, and then using my X-Acto knife, I'm going to slit it. This is where we're going to thread a piece of the leftover fabric, and that's going to be our tie that we're going to use in the center to tie it. So we're going to thread it right through it, and then it's time to start attaching the notebook, the actual pages, to the cover. I'm going to use some Fix All permanent glue from Dollar Tree, and I'm actually hoping it works. So then I'm just going to brush it on one side. So as you can see, I have the pages right where I want them. And then I'm going to flip it, and I am going to try my very best to make sure that that seam, that the bind of that side is touching the side of the faux fabric and the fabric. So I'm going to use the same clips to make sure that I have them as close as possible, and then secure it in place and let it dry. Once it was dry, it was time to see if it worked, and it actually did. I'm so excited. Making my very first journal. It was so much fun, something I have never done before. It certainly pushed me, and I really, really love the way this one turned out. This will be perfect for anyone. And if you use maybe lighter colors, maybe pinks, you can give it to maybe a little girl or whatever, whoever may want a journal. And I think it would be super cute.
It's white outside and the night is cold. Everyone's lighting candles in their homes. Yes, it's Christmas. It's a magic time.
For the next handmade gift, I'm going to take some of these beads that I get on Amazon, and I do have on my Amazon store. And by the way, I believe I also have the faux leather I have it on my Amazon store, so check it out. It is linked down below. I'm going to take two of each, or well, I'm going to paint two in each color, and I have four colors. I have like a teal, a white, a gray, and then a yellow. And I'm going to let those dry. Now I'm going to start threading some other beads, and I'm going to leave them in the natural wood tone. And to be exact, it's going to be 5 natural wood beads, and then I'm going to take one of the color ones and thread it through. This string is an elastic string that I got on Amazon. I do have it on my Amazon store, and I'm just going to tie them. We're going to make little tiny bracelets. But what they are going to be is little tags for wine glasses. So you can place them at the bottom of wine glasses, and then you'll be able to identify which wine glass is whose. On top of that, we're also going to make a larger version of that mini ring, and that's going to actually be a bracelet that the person who has that color could also wear. So the wine glass and the bracelet are going to have the matching colors, and that way everyone will know which one is their color. And if they forget, they can just look at their bracelet and be reminded of what color they have. I do have a disclaimer though. After I've made them all of these, I do want to let you know you should add one more bead to the actual bracelet. I added a total of 9 beads, including the color one. I would add 10 or 11. Another thing I would do is I would double up on the elastic string, because when I put it on, it did break. So I just wanted to let you know that. But overall, I think it's a great idea, a great gift idea. Just double up on the elastic string as well as the beads for the bracelet. But look how beautiful they are. I distressed a little bit of the colored bead just for a little bit more character, and I think they look stunning.
Come joining us all. The feeling is here today.
For the next handmade gift, I'm going to take this leftover board that never sold, and I just had it around because I just didn't want to get rid of it. So I took off the 4 little legs that I had attached. At one point, it was like a serving tray. So I removed that, and now I'm just sanding it down to smooth out some of the wood that came up. And then I am using a wood filler to fill in some of the holes. We're going to put that to the side and make sure that it's dry. And then once it dries, then you can sand it. And what it does is just fill in the holes, but removes any excess wood filler that you just don't need. I am using my palm sander in a 150 grit sandpaper, but a 220 would also be sufficient just to smooth it out. And then we're going to start painting it. So this was what it looked like before when it was a tray. I'm going to give it 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white, and I'm actually going to paint the top and the bottom. I am then going to distress it once again using my palm sander, and I am going to distress just mainly the edges. Now I'm going to take a decal that I cut using my Cricut, and it says, "Love the life you live with a little heart." We're going to place it right on the top. This is going to be a coat hanger that I am going to gift to an actual family of mine, and I thought it would be perfect to include here. I then cut up their names of mom and dad and both boys, and I'm going to place them right underneath the decal. I'm going to take these hooks that I get on Amazon, and I do have them on my Amazon store as well, and I'm going to drill 2 screws on each side, and it's going to go 1 on the bottom of each. This will be a perfect gift for any family member. So if you want to give the actual family a gift instead of individual gifts, this is a great alternative for that, because it could be used in their home and everybody has their own labeled hook. I did add 2 sawtooth hooks on the back of it, and this is what it looks like. I think it's beautiful. What a beautiful handmade gift that would be perfect for any family.
Very Merry Christmas we'll have this year. Very Merry Christmas without all tears. Every night.
For this next handmade gift, I am going to take a leftover 1x6 that I already had. Actually, it was already this size. I just literally grabbed it, sanded it down, and I'm going to give it 1 coat on the top and the bottom of this beautiful blue. It's called Highland Blue, and it's actually from Rust-Oleum Milk Paint. Once it was dry, I did distress the edges just a little bit to give it a little bit more of a distressed look. What we're making here is a little purse hanging hook. If you are a girl and you wear a purse, you know what I'm talking about. You always need a place to hang your purse. Mine is always one of the chairs in my kitchen. It shouldn't go there. I should have a designated place. So I thought making a little hook specifically for the wall would be perfect. I cut out this stencil using my Cricut and it says slay the day. I thought it would be great because when you grab your purse and head out the door, you have a cool message to get you going. I am then going to drill a hole and place a screw so that I can screw on this knob that I got at Hobby Lobby for, I think it was $3.99, but it was half off. It's beautiful though. I am going to place two more of these sawtooth hooks on the back. These are the kind that you screw because if you have a heavy purse, you want to make sure it's going to hold on. And look how beautiful this cute little handmade gift is. This would be perfect for anyone who just loves bags, scarves, anything like that to place in their home. For this next handmade gift, I am going to take this leftover. This is a different piece of 1x6, not the one we just used. The other one I had for a while. This one was actually a new one that I had and I cut to 20 inches long. I sanded it down and now we are staining it here with the Rust-Oleum glaze in the brown tone. And then I am going to stain both sides. In this case, this is going to be a lighter, it's not going to have a heavy item on. So I'm just going to use 3 of these hammer-on sawtooth hooks and place them right on the back. Then we're going to flip it over and we are going to place 2 screws, one on each bottom corner of the front of the board because we are going to, in a little bit, tie some jute string to it. Using my Cricut once again, I cut out the phrase, grandchildren are a gift from above. This would be perfect for grandparents because they can place photos of their grandkids and they can just display them all. And you can add as little or as many as little or as many photos as they want. And I think it's perfect. Now, I made the mistake of not letting the board dry completely, so my decal was having a hard time sticking, but it stuck. I am using a Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white and a chalk paint brush. For large stencils, these brushes are amazing. They get the job done quickly and effectively, and I do have a couple of them on my Amazon store that you can check out. So we are done stenciling, and now we are going to place that jute string that I told you about earlier. We're just going to tie it around the screws. We're going to take it to the other side, tie it around, make sure it's nice and tight. And then we're going to add some of those little mini clothespins that you can get anywhere at the Dollar Tree, at Walmart, or even Amazon. And that way they can hang pictures right straight from those little tiny clothespins. And as I mentioned earlier, you can place as little or as many clothespins depending on how many grandkids there are. And I think this is a beautiful, perfect handmade gift for anyone that has grandchildren.
Jingle bells ringing in my ear. Jingle bell, a sound that's oh so dear. Frosty the
This next
snowman is
handmade gift
on.
is one that I absolutely love. We are making a board game. This is going to be a tic-tac-toe board. So we're going to take 9 of these wood slices and some drop cloth that I already had here at home. We are going to place the 9 slices just as a guide because we are going to cut off a piece of the drop cloth that's going to be about double the size of where the wood slices are because we're making a little sack, a little bag for where we can store the slices in. So we're just going to cut it to about double the size that we need, and then we are going to fold it in half, and then we are going to start hot gluing so that we can make a little sack. Now you can sew it if you have a sewing machine, but in my case, I do have a sewing machine. I just not really good at sewing, so I decided to hot glue instead, and that was fine. I did make sure that all the edges were nicely cut and even. So once again, I'm just going to hot glue, and I'm just going to hot glue two sides because one of them is already folded and it's secure. And then we do, of course, need one end so that we can put the slices in. Once I had it hot glue, it's time to flip it outside in. Make sure that all the seams are on the inside of the bag. It's such a simple way to make a little sack, a little baggie. And then we are going to start placing all the wood slices right on top. This is going to give us a guide on where to draw the lines so that we can make the tic-tac-toe board. And I'm only going to be using a permanent marker and my square.
Feeling alone, kinda misty. Waiting now for you to come. It's cold again, but I know.
Now it's time to start adding O's and X's on the wood slices. I am going to take this little washi tape as a guide to make my circles nicely round. And I am going to just hand draw the X's on the other ones. So we are going to take 5 of each one. So 5 wood slices are going to be O's, and then 5 are going to be X's. And then we're going to place them right inside. And I'm going to show you how this could be a really cute gift. You just want to tie it right in the center with some jute string or rope, whatever you have on hand. And then make a simple knot. And then I decided to add a little tag that I got at Target dollar spot because I thought it would be really cute. And you just cut off some of the string that comes with it, place the tag, and then you have a beautiful gift that could be perfect for any family member or any family. So again, this could be perfect to gift a family as a whole instead of just one individual, or you can just gift it to one individual. But what a beautiful handmade gift.
Sitting by the fire and dream. Tell me again with a whisper.
This next handmade gift is perfect for anyone who loves to take baths. We are going to make a bathtub tray. This was a piece of wood that I had in the garage. I cut it to the size of my tub. I think my tub is right around a normal size tub, so I cut it to where it makes sure that it's going to kind of overhang just a little bit on each side of the tub. I stained it using Rust-Oleum chalked glaze in the brown tone, let it dry, and then I sealed everything using polyurethane in the crystal clear. Once everything was dry, we're going to add some of these pipe hooks right on the, this is going to be the top of the tray. And we are going to just thread some nautical rope from the Dollar Tree, make a big knot right on that side, then make another knot on the other side and place the other hook. This is going to make sure that I know where to knot it. So where I can make a knot. So this is going to be the little handles where you can grab the tray from and move it as needed. We did the same thing on the other side. Now I'm going to take some hot glue, and I'm going to hot glue some of this non-slip fabric that I get at Dollar Tree, and that's just going to prevent the tray from slipping and sliding and falling off of the top. But look how beautiful this tray is. This will be perfect for any family or any individual who just love to relax and read while taking a warm bath. For this next handmade gift, I'm going to take some of these extra large paint sticks that you can get at the hardware store, but I actually get mine on Amazon, and I do have them on my Amazon store. We're going to take quite a bit of them. I think it was about 6 of them, and I'm going to mark every 2.5 inches. Then using my miter saw, I went outside and cut them all. So now we have little tiny rectangle blocks because we're going to make dominoes. I am going to sand them down to make sure there are no splinters. I am then going to mark the center and make lines because, of course, we want them to look like dominoes. And then we're going to start making dots. I actually had to Google to see how many dots on each one. You know what I'm talking about. I don't want to miss a domino. So I made these. I'm going to speed it up here for you because this took quite a long time. Not too long, but long enough where I just don't want to bore you with all the little details. So you know what we're doing here. So I made all the lines and then I'm making all the little dots. So make sure that I have enough dominoes to complete a set.
It was the night before Christmas. I was closing down for business in my little present shop. When the bell on the door jingled once more.
Now we're going to take some white fabric that I already had at home from another project and we're going to make another little sack, but this time it's going to be for the dominoes. So I'm just going to fold it in half, cut just the piece that I think would be sufficient for the domino set. And again, we're going to hot glue two sides, but leave one open so that we can place the dominoes in and out. Once I had it glue, again, we are going to flip outside in to make sure the seams are on the inside of the sack. And then it's time to just make something on the front of the sack. And I was contemplating what to put. And then I decided to just draw a domino. So we are going to use my square once again, as well as a permanent marker. We are just going to hand draw a domino and simple. You just make a rectangle, draw a line in the center. And because Christmas is on December 25th, I thought it would be very fun to add the domino with a 2 and a 5 symbolizing the 25.
And then time almost came to a stop, but somehow I knew. And maybe
Now we're going to place the dominoes right inside, and we're going to do the same thing we did with the tic-tac-toe sack. We're going to tie it in the center with some jute rope and then add another one of those cute little tags from the Target dollar spot just to finish it off, and it would be perfect to gift any family, any individual, or even any child who loves dominoes, who loves board games. I think what a great little handmade gift for anyone in your family.
did you that everything would change from now on? Yes, from this Christmas on, this Christmas on.
For this next handmade gift, I'm going to take another piece of those leftover boards, the same kind that we did the bathtub tray, and we're going to sand it down and paint it. I am going to give this one 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white, and then we're going to sand it down to give it more of a farmhouse look. I am going to drill 2 holes on the sides of each side on the top. I left about an inch from the top, and we're going to screw in 2 eye hooks where we can then thread some jute twine here in a little bit. I'm going to take some of those same wooden beads from earlier and we're going to just thread them through some jute string, and I don't know how many I got, but just enough where I can make a cute little hanging portion of this, what will be another picture holder for any family member who loves to display pictures. So we are going to just tie them on each side, making sure they are loose enough where they're not going to like snap off, but they're snug enough where the beads are all going to be together. I hope that makes sense. Now I'm going to take some more of that nautical rope. I'm just kind of, I don't know, wrap it twice around the top of the board and staple it on the back to secure it. And then I'm going to take some of these black hooks that I get on Amazon, and I do have them on my Amazon store as well. And we are going to screw in 3 of them right down the board. This will be more of a vertical way to display photos. So if you have a smaller space, I think it's perfect for anyone in the family who loves to display pictures. And what a beautiful handmade gift this would make. This is it for today. So much inspiration, so many cute ideas. Let me know in the comments which one is your favorite. If you're visiting for the first time, again, thank you for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. I'm going to have 2 videos here for you. I think you should watch them. It's a lot more of inspiration, Christmas inspiration, and maybe even more handmade gifts inspiration. Check it out. I'll see you later, my friend, and have a blessed day. Bye.